One.
Right.
Oh, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You have not said anything until now. How have you kept it all bottled in?
Well, I suppose what surprised me is that, yes, 52 years later, there is still this unbelievable interest. I say at the time, I didn't realise I was involving myself in history. It was a gig. It was a job.
What were they like one-on-one when you started filming?
I say George was an incredible technician, and he was very cluey. Like one time I remember he turned and he said, "Do you know why we got the MBE?" He said, "Have a look at the balance of payments." He said, "Before we went to America, the sterling was down there." He said, 6 months after, it's up there. And we got it for export, mate.
Well, two people should have bass and guitar.
Maybe we should learn a few songs first.
There was a lot more chat, a lot more. And there was still, with John, for example, one day he would come in and he was still the Scouse larrikin. And he'd be doing all the stuff we'd seen him do all the time. Next day he'd come in with Yoko and his microbiotic diet and he was the artisan. Paul was always this rather... corporate's not the right word, but he had an overview of...
bigger vision.
The Beatles and a position thing. Although, having said that, when we were at Twickenham, he realised that a double-decker bus that stopped outside of his posh house in North London ran all the way to Twickenham Studios. So one day he thought, I'll get on the bus. Now, the buses in those days had conductors. So he's on the bus, and the conductor comes up and spots him and recognises him. And the conductor says, "What are you doing on this? This is for working class people. What's a rich breeding? You know, you should piss off. You shouldn't be on this bus." So Paul just trying to keep his little naturalness. I mean, he got this terrible rollicking from a bus conductor.
And Ringo?
I never saw anybody tell Ringo what to do musically.
Really?
I say they'd all bring out their cue sheets and stuff and be playing. And then Ringo would do his stuff. And I never once heard someone give him any, "Oh, can you..." He just did it. And I guess they'd been together so long. But one day I saw him very preoccupied. He was doing something. And so by that time, there was no barrier. We could literally put the camera in their ear and they weren't fussed by it. And so I went round behind Ringo and he's got this business card and he's drawing this little black figure. And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, you know those Cadbury's commercials at the moment, which are a bit James Bond, and the guy ends up leaving a box of black magic on the woman's bedside table." He said, "Well, we're watching that last night." And Maureen says to me, "You never do anything like that for me." He said, "So tonight I'm going to put the box and put this card on it." And then suddenly, what was a big surprise, who's that? And there's this Afro-American gentleman on the keyboards.
Yeah.
And Billy Preston. "Oh, OK."
Just one of the best ever.
Yeah, great, OK. And pretty soon he's relaxed and he's nodding to the camera as he comes in and he's got no problems. But one day, John sits down at an electric keyboard. "This keyboard's out of tune. And Billy Preston says in a delivery that broke no argument, "Electric keyboards don't go out of tune." You just told John Lennon he's talking shit. And it was, and just for that moment, there was eggshells, because I think now, how's he going to react? And he said, "Oh, OK then, right."
Just get on with it.
Just took it. And I think, though, you see, that was the respect that Billy Preston would have had in their world, that, if he says it, it's fact.
What do you take out of your experience with the Beatles and their final concert?
I know I'm lucky. I know as time's gone on, that's something no one can take from me. It's special, Carl. It's and it can't be repeated.
That's for sure.
And yeah, so it's something that I'll take with me.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.